Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Zuhair and today I'll be sharing with you top 10 extracurricular activities that you can do from the comfort of your home and that will make your college application shine among thousands of other applications. So if you'd like to make your college application stand out and increase your chances of getting into the colleges of your choice, do watch the complete video. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. First of all, what are extracurricular activities and why are they so important? As the name suggests, extracurricular activities are simply activities that are done outside of your school curriculum. It can include any activity that you actively participate in outside of your schoolwork, like clubs, arts, sports, community service, competitions, etc. But not just that. If you could not engage in these traditional extracurricular activities and spend your high school time in supporting your family or taking care of your younger siblings, that too counts as an extracurricular activity if you properly reflect upon it in your application. Now, why do universities care about extracurricular activities? Because it helps them identify students who are willing to go outside of their class to pursue their passions and improve themselves and their communities. Also, the extracurricular activities list of a student tells colleges a lot about the overall personality of the student and what they're involved in outside of their school. As I said in my previous videos, extracurricular activities are one of the most important elements in your college applications and you need to start planning for them even before you enter high school. Now, due to the coronavirus and its subsequent variants, we are living in uncertain times where we don't know when we'll get back to normal and how long will that normal last before the government announces more lockdowns. But even in these uncertain times, when we can't engage in traditional extracurricular activities the way we used to, there are endless new opportunities for self-driven students who want to improve themselves and their applications. The at-home extracurricular activities I am about to share are all self-driven and require a lot of initiative and independence on your part, which is especially valuable to college admission offices. So don't think that because you're doing them at home, they won't require a lot of work on your part or won't impact your application. They will require a lot of work and will definitely boost your application if you do them in your areas of interest and passions. Also, the extracurricular activities I am about to share are based off my personal experience and research of accepted students to top universities. So yeah, take them as a list of suggestions and remember that whatever extracurricular activity you engage in, it should properly sync with your overall application. Otherwise, having random extracurriculars here and there won't make much difference. With that being said, let's start with the first one, which is to take things virtual. Now, even if you're stuck at home, it doesn't mean that your pre-pandemic extracurricular activities have to stop. You can always find ways to take things online. I know that there will be some operations and activities that can't be taken online, like cleaning drives or sports competitions, but there will be activities that you can continue online. If you were a member or leader of a school club or activity which you were really passionate about and which discontinued due to the pandemic, think about a way to revive that club or activity in an online format, because this shows your interest and perseverance for it. For instance, if you were into writing, you can continue to collaborate with your schoolmates online and write for your school magazine or conduct in-school writing contests online. Even if you are not able to continue your old extracurriculars, you can always start new ones. And one of the best ways to do that is by starting a new virtual club or online group on a topic or activity you are passionate about. Here, the sky is the limit because the possibilities with this are endless. And it really depends on your interests and the interests of your peers to decide what the club will be about. You can start a coding club, a book club, a writing club, a language discussion group, debate club, art club, and more. Now, if you're planning on pursuing an engineering major in college and you're interested in computer science, I would highly recommend you learn more about software development and start a coding club. It is a great way to connect with other tech-savvy students in your school, challenge yourself, and learn together about different things. If you are in the debating space, you can start an MUN club where you can learn about global issues, conduct in-school MUNs, and even organize virtual inter-school MUNs. Remember that you can always start a club on activities that don't exist in your school and that you are passionate about. Now, before we move to the next extracurricular, I would like to tell you the reality of taking online courses for college admissions. There are a lot of students who still believe that taking online courses can help their application. In fact, when I was in grade 11th, I used to believe that online courses can help increase my chances of getting into prestigious universities. But let me tell you that this isn't true at all. Yes, online courses can teach you a lot of theoretical skills which colleges look for, but You need to show colleges how you have used the skills you learned from online courses and translated them into valuable practical work. If you are learning programming languages through online courses, it can prove to be very valuable and helpful if you do projects with them. Because even in the pandemic, the IT world hasn't stopped, but rather got a massive boost in products and work. Therefore, if you can learn some IT skills and use them to help people, let's say non-profit businesses for their app or website development or their graphic designs on social media, then it will become a good extracurricular for your college application. Decide what you want to learn and learn something that will be relevant in the future. Then use that to create impact. If you are just doing online courses, you are only telling admission officers that you have particular skills, but you need to show them these skills through your work and projects. For instance, it's one thing to say that you took web development courses, and it's another thing to say that you self-learned web development and built your own website with it. It's one thing to say that you took graphic design courses and know the ins and outs of it, and it's another thing to say that you completed 20 design projects with 20 different clients from all over the world. Yes, taking up online courses in your areas of interest from trusted platforms like edX and Coursera can help you learn a lot of skills, but you need to take it further by channeling the skills you learn online to help other organizations and utilize them in your other extracurricular activities. Therefore, exploring online resources or taking online courses to receive certificates won't help your college application much. Rather, it is the knowledge and skills you put in practice by doing impactful projects which helps your college application. Now, moving on to our first volunteering extracurricular, which is to teach math, science, language, any other subject or life skill to low-income students in your community or region. In general, tutoring is a great extracurricular to do, whether you do it as a paid work or as a volunteer work, because in these COVID times, a lot of students need extra assistance with their schoolwork as their online classes aren't able to suffice their needs. Most students are facing difficulties with online schools, and most low-income communities do not even have access to sufficient resources to succeed. But you can solve this problem by offering free tutoring services. Almost all low-income communities have seen massive disruption in education, and helping them catch up with their studies for free can prove to be very valuable to admission officers. Plus, it is a self-driven activity that nobody asked you to do and you initiated it on your own. No matter what skills students have in other fields, generally almost all high school students can teach middle school students and students below their grade. You can start your own free tutoring services in your area or join other free online tutoring services as a full-time or part-time tutor. If you live in North America, you can sign up for Go Peer Tutoring as a volunteer tutor or as a paid tutor. It pays $20 per hour for teaching students. But if you don't live in North America, you can look for online tutoring services in your area, or you can team up with your passionate friends who can help you with tutoring or managing operations for your volunteer work. And together, you can help a lot of students. If you are able to scale your work to hundreds of students, I don't know how it won't look impressive to colleges. Now, if you're following a famous college YouTuber named Katie Tracy, you'd know that she started a non-profit called I Believe, where she's teamed up with high-scoring IB graduates from around the world to provide free mentoring, tutoring, and resources to support IB students in the pandemic and bridge inequalities in the IB provision. I think this is a great idea, and she has attracted a lot of IB students and graduates from around the world into the community to make this a successful project. Similarly, you can think of replicating this type of project for your local community or for your school curriculum by creating a website or a platform that connects students and helps students. Okay, the next impressive extracurricular you can engage in is to apply and get a remote internship. Now, a remote or virtual internship is any internship that takes place online and doesn't require a physical workspace. It allows you to do all the work from your home. With remote internships on your application, you are portraying yourself as a student who is going out of their comfort zone and beyond their schoolwork to gain field-related experiences. And this shows college admission officers that you take initiative and you have a dedication to learn in depth about your field. COVID-19 has changed a lot of the hiring process for companies, and most of them are willing to offer remote or virtual internships to people with the required skill set. Not just that, employers are willing to hire people from all over the world to get their job done, which means that today, remote internships are more available and accessible in different fields than they were ever before. So, no matter what your field is, be it information technology, writing, journalism, social media, engineering, you are not limited to your region or country to pursue it. Rather, you have the entire world within your reach. You just need to be willing to find these opportunities and apply to them. A big question here is, how do you find these remote internship opportunities? The answer is through Google and LinkedIn. If you search for remote internships around the world specifically catered to your interests, you'll get a ton of businesses and organizations where you can apply. And not just that, you can also read the research work of professors in top universities around the world working in your field of interest and ask them for an internship. Don't think that research internships have to be in person. Most research internships after the pandemic were entirely virtual, so you don't need to worry about moving or anything. But how do you connect with organizations, employers, researchers, and actually get internships without any prior relation with them? That's where a powerful technique called cold emailing comes in. Now, in cold emailing, you send an email for any professional opportunity to someone who had no previous contact or connection with you. You're basically asking someone who doesn't know you to grant you an opportunity to work with them. But why will a person who doesn't know you give you an opportunity to work with them? That's what you have to write in your cold email. You need to tell them how you can contribute to their work, how your past experiences will help you in your work at that organization, and how you are unique over hundreds of other high school students who email them daily. Now, if you'd like to learn more about cold emailing, its format, and how to actually get started with it, I'll give the links to some helpful videos in the description below. Do check them out. A lot of students think that finding internships is very difficult as a high school student, and let me tell you, it is. Yes, it is extremely hard to get one internship or working opportunity if you don't actively seek it through cold emails. But that is what makes you stand out, because not many people have good internships on their application. Realize that if you get a good internship, it will truly make your application shine, because it shows your grit, self-drive and initiative to get experience in your field and overcome obstacles. Also, do not expect that you'll write 10 cold emails and land in a good internship. If you do, it's great, but generally, expect that you will be writing hundreds of personalized emails before you get one good internship. Now, my suggestion to maximize your chances of getting internships is by approaching legit startups and asking them to intern. They are a lot more welcoming than big companies with a lot of staff and huge requests of interns. So yeah, keep trying, keep pushing hard until you get the remote internship you are seeking. But remember, no matter whether your cold email is successful in getting you an internship or not, your emails are not getting wasted, as you are directly and indirectly building a professional network for yourself, and you never know when these connections will help you in the future. Maybe you didn't receive an internship now, but the employer gave your recommendation to someone else who might be helpful to you in the future and may reach out to you. Also, some people think it is harder to get internships in foreign countries like the US and the UK, but that's not true at all. Yes, some universities do prioritize their students over others, but generally most universities and professors are willing to offer you research internship opportunities if you show them genuine interest and are willing to contribute to their research in meaningful ways. I know a lot of international students who have pursued research internships with professors from top US universities like Harvard and Stanford just by cold emailing them and demonstrating genuine interest for their research. But know that these students sent tens and hundreds of personalized cold emails before they got a research internship. Now, remember that you should only apply at places and organizations where you are interested in working, and that too with personalized cold emails of your interest to work. Because there is no point in sending hundreds of cold emails that are not personalized and don't showcase your interest. Also, doing internships without any interest and only for the sake of showing a remote internship won't help your application a lot, and I won't suggest doing it. A really important thing to keep in mind when finding remote internship opportunities, especially if you are living in India, is to properly research about the company or organization before committing to work. Because there have been instances where students were asked to pay for internships or the company they were working for did not exist and they were scammed. Therefore, before you hop onto any internship opportunity, make sure there is sufficient information about the organization online and you know that they are legit. Taking up remote internships can really boost your application. But this is easier said than done, because applying to internships is one thing and actually landing in one is another. That's why I would suggest you to not just email businesses, organizations and researchers for remote internships, but to also approach local NGOs for volunteer opportunity and help them with fundraising, organizing events, social media marketing, etc. But if there are no volunteering opportunities with NGOs in your area, start cold emailing other NGOs and help them with whatever skill set you have. Maybe you are good at programming and can help NGOs with setting up their website or mobile app to connect them with their donors and help them provide their services more easily. Maybe you are good at graphic design and can help NGOs with social media campaigns and graphic designs for donation campaigns. No matter what skills you have, you can always help NGOs and other non-profit organizations with online campaigning and other operations. Now, it's comparatively easier to get working opportunities with NGOs than with other organizations because mostly you are a volunteer and you don't get paid for the work you do. Secondly, NGOs generally are looking for more volunteers to help them deliver services to more people. Therefore, alongside targeting businesses, organizations, professors, and startups with cold emails, also cold email less renowned but good NGOs working for social causes that matter to you. Okay, let's say you don't get volunteering opportunities with NGOs. Remember, you can always get involved with online volunteering and service work at other big organizations that are willing to take volunteers from around the world. If you are interested in online volunteering and community service work, there is a great post by College Wine listing 40 online community service activities that high school students or gap year students can take up. For example, you can connect with blind and low vision people through Be My Eyes app and help them with their daily tasks. Or you can translate various texts for international organizations working on crisis relief through Translators Without Borders. And there are other interesting volunteering opportunities and platforms like these. If you are interested in these opportunities, I highly recommend you check out College Wine's post on this. I'll give its link in the description below. Okay, let's move on to our next extracurricular, which is to start an online business. First of all, don't panic. Starting an online business isn't as difficult and complicated as it sounds. In fact, you can start your own online business in the next couple of hours. In today's world, you don't need to have a business location, business plan, or tax ID to start an online business. It is as simple as creating a WordPress or Wix or Blogger account to set up an online presence. Now, if you are following my YouTube channel, first of all, thank you. And second of all, you know that I started my own blog and it took me only a week to completely set it up and sync it with my channel. If you haven't checked it till now, what are you doing? Just head over to zoheransai.com to see it. Also, do let me know your opinions about the design and other aspects of it in the comment section below. I would love to know your views. And if you need any help with setting up something like this for yourself or for your business, do let me know on Instagram. Anyways, I was just trying to point out at the ease of starting an online business. Now, let me tell you some business ideas you can pursue. First, you can become an online tutor and offer virtual tutoring services to high school students or middle school students through your website. You can partner with your school friends or relatives in expanding your tutoring services to include more tutors and students from your region. Since you will be tutoring online, you will be having very minimal operational costs and most of your revenue will turn out to be profits. Tutoring is just one business idea. If you are into art and design, you can also set up an online business to sell your artwork. And it doesn't have to be physical art, it can be digital art as well. And you don't need to set up a website for it, though that would be better, but you can simply start by creating an Instagram page and attracting the right audience to sell the designs you create. Another idea is to approach local businesses who do not have an online presence and set up their website as well as social media accounts to help them connect with potential customers. Now, if you do not wish to start a full-fledged business online, you always have the option of working as a freelancer. In the case of creating websites, you will be working as a freelance web developer. For freelancing, you can register on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr or build your LinkedIn profile to attract the right clients to you. However, you'll need to have some skills at your disposal to reach out to clients and offer your services. This can include copywriting, video editing, graphic designing, social media management, data entry, animation, voiceover, etc. With online business as well as freelancing, the possibilities are endless. You just need to find out the right product or service based on your interests and passions and you're good to go. Okay, let's move on to the next extracurricular, which is to create a non-profit organization. No matter what type of non-profit you start, your purpose should be to create a positive impact in your community. For instance, you can start a non-profit to create online awareness about the issues that concern your local community, or a non-profit to empower women through writing and art, or a non-profit to advocate for education equality, etc. Before starting the non-profit, figure out your purpose and what is unique about your organization that is not present in any other organization working in the same domain. That's how you will be able to create a unique image of yourself and your profile in front of the admissions committee. Now, creating an organization will look impressive when you have scaled it up and created good impact with it, not just in your local community but beyond it as well. And this is actually true for almost all the activities I have mentioned before. They need to have both scale and impact. But what do I mean by scale and impact? With scale, I mean that your nonprofit should involve a lot of people, both internally and externally. It should have people from different parts of your community participating and contributing to your social cause. But if you have people from all over the world, that's really awesome and impressive. Now, whether you should get people from all over the world depends on the mission and aims of your organization, but generally, it isn't hard to reach out to students from all over the world through the internet if you really want to. With regards to impact, you'll need to create meaningful, positive changes in the communities you are targeting. Try your best to achieve both scale and impact. But even if your organization is not able to reach hundreds or thousands of people around the world, it shows the admission officers that you are a student who is willing to put in the time, initiative, and leadership for new endeavors. Also, no matter what activity you do, just do it with a purpose, and don't just do it because you want to start a nonprofit or make it look good on your application. Always remember that if you're doing something just for college applications, admission officers will see through that and you won't be able to outsmart them because that's what their job is. Okay, let's move on to another really unique and impressive extracurricular, which if you do can really make your application stand out from thousands of applicants. It is to write and publish a book. Now, when I say writing a book, you might be wondering, how can a high school student possibly write a book? Actually, you don't need to be a college graduate to start writing a book. And know that even as a student, you can write a wonderful book that creates impact. The reason most people think that students can't write a book, and that's what I used to think back in high school, is because of the traditional perception about writing a book. Basically, we think of publishing a book in a traditional sense, where the author writes for years, then a team edits it, approves it, contact publishers for distribution, and the whole process takes a very long time. However, most people don't know that there is a self-publishing route where you can register on book distribution platforms like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and IndieBound, meet their writing standards, and just provide them your ebook. After which, they'll take care of the complete publishing and distribution for you, though you do need to market the book yourself. Today, self-publishing a book is literally as easy as following a tutorial on YouTube. The hard part though is the actual brainstorming and writing process. In my view, writing a book is a really unique extracurricular activity because one, most high school students don't even have a slightest clue that they can write and self-publish a book, and only a few students actually write a book from those who do know about it. It means that if you write a book, you'll be among a tiny group of high school students around the world to write a book, setting you apart from thousands of applicants automatically. 2. It shows your deep intellectual curiosity, interest, and commitment for a subject. And that is what colleges look for in students, a quest for learning and going deep in a subject. 3. It shows that you take initiative and go beyond what is possible at your age to create impact in the world. And 4. Writing a book simply looks really impressive on your resume. Back in high school, I didn't know that I could write and publish a book on my own until I saw the profiles of accepted students to top US universities in my gap year. These admitted students were into research, publication, and writing books, and not writing novels or thick books, but thin books on topics they cared about and showed deep curiosity in. So don't think that you need to write a big novel or a very thick college textbook in high school. Now, you might be wondering what to actually write on, because in high school, you are just exploring stuff and don't really have a deep understanding on a subject. The answer is to write introductory books, or books for middle schoolers introducing them to certain high-level concepts which might be intimidating to them. For example, you can write a book on Introduction to Computer Science and Programming with visually appealing graphics, or on explanation of high school science concepts with illustrations, or on problems you see around you like racism, poverty, or on breaking traditional stereotypes, or on topics like self-empowerment and women in STEM. I remember reading a profile of an accepted student to top US universities where she created a poetry book to raise awareness about the rising discrimination and racism against Asian Americans. Think about something you already know and something that you can explain and elaborate to others. It doesn't have to be for people of your age, it can be for students below your level, but remember that it should be on something that is informative and valuable to others, and on something that you can share with others in interesting and enlightening ways. There is a famous college YouTuber named Iris Fu who got admitted to Stanford's class of 2024, In high school, she wrote an introductory economics textbook called Gateway to American Economics, in which she introduced economics in a fun and visually attractive way to middle and high school students. Iris read a research paper about how introduction to economics textbooks have images which indirectly appeal to men. So she decided to write an introduction to economics textbook with gender neutral images to bridge the gender gap in economics. I think this is a great idea, as well as a lesson that you need to know your purpose for writing the book. You can't just sit down and write a book for the sake of writing a book. You need to ask yourself, why am I writing the book? What problem am I trying to solve? Who is my target audience? What impact am I trying to create with the content and graphics? If you'd like to learn more about Iris's book and how she designed and self-published it, I'll give her video link in the description below. Don't forget to check it out if you're interested. In a nutshell, just think about a topic you're passionate about, do some research, find your why, and get started with the actual writing process. Now, let's move on to my favorite extracurricular, which is to build an online community through content creation. Building an online community on a specific niche is easier than ever, and you just need to reach out to people. It can be done through a YouTube channel, but if you're not into filming and stuff, you can start blogging or podcasting or sharing valuable work on Facebook, Instagram, or Reddit to develop a good following and community of like-minded people. Though there are endless avenues to explore here, let's talk about the 4 main ways to build an online community. Starting a YouTube channel, starting a blog or a website, starting a podcast, and starting a Facebook or Instagram page. Let's go over each of them one by one. First, starting a YouTube channel. Here, like everywhere else, there are endless things you can do. You can teach academic concepts or foreign language to students, or show others how to stay fit and healthy during the pandemic. You can create a YouTube channel around environmental activism or talk about issues like mental health. Basically, you can start a YouTube channel on pretty much anything as long as you are creating value on the internet and sharing something useful and helpful for others. Remember that in order to do YouTube or any other form of content creation, you don't need to be an expert in your field. Rather, think of it as documenting and sharing whatever you know about the things you like and are passionate to talk about. Don't think too much, just start researching and sharing whatever you know that can be valuable to others. In my case, I went through the college application process on my own and learned a ton of things, which I thought would be helpful to other students like me. And so I created my own YouTube channel and blog to help people out in their college applications. Okay, second, starting a personal blog or creating a website. Here, you can go deep into topics you care about and you want to raise awareness of. You can write poems, plays, short stories, screenplays, articles, or essays and share them with the world through your blog or website. You can also use your work to enter local, national, or international online writing competitions or submit your work in renowned literary journals. If you submit your work and win awards, it would be really great. But even if you don't win awards, creative writing or journalistic writing will show college admission officers your ability to think critically and express your thoughts clearly. But again, take this with a grain of salt because if you have a blog which no one reads, it won't be that impressive to colleges. So yeah, you'll need to have a good number of views and a good following on your blog for it to look impressive to colleges. On a side note, if you want to get into journalism, another thing you can do is to write opinion pieces for your local or national newspaper, and if you get published, that would again shine in your application. Now, your blog or website can be on any topic you like or are interested in. For instance, if you want to pursue international relations or political science, it can be entirely on politics, geopolitics, and global issues. I remember watching a video of Singh in USA where he was interviewing a Harvard admit from India. The Harvard student mentioned that he started a blog in grade 11th and published 100 plus articles about foreign affairs on it. In 2 years' time, he received 700,000 views on his blog and some of his articles were published in newspapers like Z News and DNA India. That was not it. When he submitted his application to Harvard, the admission officers loved reading his articles. Good number of views on his blog impressed them even further, which probably led to his acceptance. So yeah, nothing is impossible, and even a high traffic driving blog on a topic you care about can really impress college admission officers. Now, it doesn't have to be on foreign affairs or politics. You can also start something related to minority rights, education, health issues neglected in communities, racism, women rights, etc. Basically, whatever you are interested in and you care about. Remember that you don't need to have an award-winning blog to be able to show your passion for something. Whatever efforts you put in, if you are able to show them that you are passionate about a topic, it will become your spike. Now, if you don't know, there is a cost to starting a blog, which is of buying domain and hosting. But if you don't want to invest in starting your blog or getting into technicalities of setting it up and designing it, you can create an account on medium.com where you can just write content and focus on posting instead of worrying about the technical side of blogging. I know a lot of people who started writing articles on Medium and developed a great following with it. And not just that, they are earning pretty good money through it. Third, starting a podcast. This is quite untraditional but a great alternative to starting a magazine or website. Here, you can talk about topics you are interested in like social issues, tolerance, education, etc. and also invite people to speak about those topics on your podcast. Again, this should be on a topic you are deeply passionate about, and I think podcast gives you great opportunity to have sessions with other people and explore their views on your topics of interest. Fourth, starting a Facebook or Instagram page. Now, creating a YouTube channel, making a blog, and starting a podcast all require a lot of initial setup work, but through Facebook or Instagram page, you can both share your work with the world as well as develop a following. The great thing about social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram is that you can start your organization or non-profit or business just by registering on these platforms and creating a dedicated page for it. That's how far you are from connecting with other people with the same interests as you. Through Facebook and Instagram, you can sell products for your business, post and create awareness for your organization, help local businesses in setting up an online presence for themselves, and much more. No matter what arena you choose, I think creating an online community that demonstrates your interests and values is a great extracurricular to go after. Also, if you'd like to make something online succeed, you'll need to be consistent. You don't need to be ferociously posting for a week and then disappear after that. Rather, you need to maintain consistency and regularity with your uploads. A really great advice for me. Okay, moving on to the last at-home extracurricular activity for today. It is to start online fundraisers for charitable causes. Now, using whatever online resources you have, you can create your own online fundraising event to support your personal projects, community service projects, and service projects of local NGOs and other non-profits. The first question before delving into fundraising for any service project is to ask yourself, what does my community need the most right now? And what are the current problems in my community that I can solve? If you're into art and design, you can start a fundraiser by designing your own accessories in the form of t-shirt, mugs, phone covers, etc., which you can then sell through a website or social media page. You can also create a team of students who are dedicated in helping people raise funds as well as awareness about issues through their art. Moreover, live art performance can also be used as a starting point for fundraising events. If you are not into art and design, you can conduct challenges or creative social media campaigns to raise awareness as well as funds for a good cause. Think of creative ways to raise funds like online charity sports matches or esports matches online for fundraising purposes. With creative ways, you also have a chance of getting partially viral and encouraging more people to join. Lastly, I would say that your extracurriculars impressiveness to college admission officers is subject to a lot of factors, such as how long you have been invested in the activity, what impact did you create with it, how that activity impacted you, how passionate were you about that activity, or did you just do it for college applications, and were you really self-driven in the activities? If you are able to show passion, dedication, intellectual curiosity, leadership, and impact through your extracurricular activities, it can really help you in enhancing your application drastically. One of the ways you can show the success of these self-driven extracurriculars is by showing the quantitative impact you had through them. For instance, you can tell colleges the audience retention stats for your blog or website, or you can show the number of views you got for your YouTube videos, or the number of people the NGO was able to reach through the website you created. So it shows colleges that your activities had both qualitative and quantitative impact in the community. My best advice would be to plan right now. Don't wait a day or a second, just pick your pen or open a note-taking app and start planning for the extracurricular activities you want to engage in. And once you get that clarity, research and start the process immediately. Okay guys, these are all the at-home extracurricular activities I know. If I have missed anything, do let me know in the comments below. Now, if you have watched this massively long video and want to let me know that you were listening all this time, do comment down. I watched till the end in the comment section below. Also, a very special thanks to you. If this video helped you a little bit, do give it a thumbs up and share it with your high school friends or relatives who might find it helpful in their extracurricular activity plans. Also, subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get notified once I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Goodbye and take care.
Dum 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 dum.